Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. It's your host, Rising Oblivion. Today, guys, I'm going to be giving you the good and the bad about Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne HD Remaster. So if you don't know, this game just came out recently, and I've done a couple different streams on it, and some people have asked me, what's good about it? What's bad about it? How is it compared to the original game? It came out quite a long time ago, realistically, on the PS2, so we're getting a newer HD remaster of it. But how much of a remaster is it? Is it worth the price for what you get? Well, I'm going to break it down into some categories, but first, let's talk about the good things about this remaster. So, honestly, I was kind of surprised. I really enjoy looking at this game. The textures, yes, they are from PS2. You do have a lot of PS2 models and stuff like that. They didn't change out models from certain characters for the most part. They're still exactly the same, but they're much cleaner and look much nicer. Not only just character models and whatnot, but also the environments and some cutscenes and some animations look cleaned up and look a lot better. I have some showing on the screen right now, and you might say that looks kind of bad, but compare it to the PS2 version, it is a lot better when I actually have a side-by-side comparison. They cleaned this game up fairly well, and it looks super nice. Personally, I had a lot of fun looking at the environments and the over map screen view when you're actually changing from town to town and looking at different stuff. If you want some gameplay, I do have 2 streams up so far about the game, but it does look really nice, and honestly, I think they did a pretty good job cleaning this up. I think they did a very good job cleaning up the textures and the models, but let's move on over to something else. The thing I wanted to point out is the voice acting. So we knew this game was going to be remastered and whatnot, but we did not know for sure if it was going to keep the Japanese voices and potentially just have subtitles or something like that, or how well is the voice acting going to be? Is it just going to be basically them taking the old PS2 game and just remastering that, no new voice acting or anything? Well, they actually fully voice act this. You can have this game fully voice acted in good English, and they use a lot of the same voice actors that they've used in Atlas before. Some different people, Noctis from Final Fantasy's in here, some different characters. I think even Sojiro's voice actor does a voice. You'll see some familiar voices, but not a ton, just a couple there, but they're very good voice actors, and they're pretty renowned voice actors. If there's one thing Atlas does super good, other than maybe the music in their games, that is the voice acting, and not just picking people to voice act, but the actual inflection for how they do stuff and how these characters are portrayed. They do them in a very good way. I guess you sort of have to with a very big JRPG, right? There's a lot of text in the game, there's a lot of story. I guess you kind of have to have a very good cast of characters and good music. And this game really pulls through when it comes to the cast of characters. They do sound really nice. You do have a silent protagonist, of course, but you still have battle, sounds and animations and things like that that are still voice acted in English and whatnot. You don't hear like the Japanese person punching or something like that. It is like a English sort of sound, I guess you could say, but still, the cast is voice acted, which is super nice to have. I'm glad that they decided to actually do that and go for that when it comes to the voice acting. And the next point I wanted to bring up is gameplay. So we've gone over graphics, we've gone over voice acting. Let's move on to gameplay. So it does stay true to its nature, but I do believe they have done some stuff to make this game a little bit better when it comes to gameplay. So gameplay before on PS2 could be a little iffy, could be a little bit, hard to play it sometimes, but when you're playing this thing on the PS4 or on the Switch, it does run nicely. It is, I think, 30 frames or 60 depending on what you're doing or what you're playing on, so your preferred platform might be a little bit different. Obviously, handheld on the Switch or something like that, it's going to have lower frames maybe than something like the PS4 would have, or potentially PC, but we'll get down to PC here in a minute when it comes to the bad list. It's really iffy when it comes to the PC, but this game does run smoothly, and you can tell that from the combat. The combat isn't grindy, it doesn't hang up at times. I know sometimes certain JRPGs, when you select a move that might be a little bit intensive, it hangs up, and you have to wait a second, and then it loads it in, and then it does the attack. There hasn't been any of that I've seen so far in the game. There might be something like that in the future, but this game does run smoothly. It plays smoothly. The battle mechanics run smoothly. It does feel nice to play this game, so it looks good. Good voice acting, plays smoothly, goes smoothly. That's about all I could say when it comes to this HD remaster in terms of the good parts about it, other than we're just getting an SMT game that's on a finally now on like playable platforms, man. It's really nice to have. But let's move on over to the bad when it comes to this. And this is the first thing that I noticed, is that some of the music is compressed. I'm not sure if all of it is compressed, but there is definitely compressed music when it comes to this. It is not like the Kingdom Hearts games where they went over and did a new orchestral arrangement for the music. No, this is the original music and it is compressed. Weirdly enough, Shin Megami Tensei 3, I'm pretty sure, is the only PS2 era Meg 10 game, if I'm pretty sure, that has compressed audio. The rest of them didn't. P4 Golden, P4, even just I think P3 didn't have compressed audio. Neither did Double Summoner, I'm pretty sure. But this has compressed audio, which doesn't always sound 100% amazing. I think they did try to clean it up a little bit, so it probably sounds nicer than the PS2 soundtrack. However, some of the battle themes, and that's where I noticed it the most, the overworld themes and everything, I really can't tell there. So maybe that's not compressed, but when you go into battle, you will notice some compression. Now, I'm a person who can play Pokemon and listen to the Pokemon soundtracks on the little 3DS or the DS or the Game Boy and crap like that, and I still like it. So that might not mean much to you at all when it comes to it being compressed. It's still a good tune, still sounds great, but for today's era of music, and when you listen to it, you will notice sometimes with the battle themes that there is some compression there, and it does sound a little bit iffy at times when you go to listen to it. I guess you know, point that out so you're not surprised when you hear the music sounds just a little bit off. But let's move on to the next point that is bad, and that has to do with price range and DLC. So the base version of this game is $40 USD or $50 USD if you're over here in the States, right? So that's not DLC included, and there's a deluxe version of the game as well, right? And a lot of people, if you watch the other Meg 10 YouTubers, have pointed this out, that a lot of the DLC content was sort of just thrown in for the Japanese version of the game. Really, us here in the West, we're the ones who get these deluxe editions that include all the DLC, and we get the game 4 days earlier. Japan doesn't ever experience that. The game just comes out and they get most of the content. But most of the content, I'm talking about Dante and the background music stuff and some of the other things. I'm pretty sure the only technically free DLC for this game, if you want to consider it really free DLC, I mean, it is a downloadable content, but you're not actually getting much from it, is the merciful difficulty mode. That's the only thing that is free. Everything else you will have to buy, like the background soundtracks and the Dante to be, included in your thing. And Dante will make you have to full restart the game in order to have him incorporated. He will take out Raido's part of the game, so you won't see him anymore. You'll see Dante. So you are playing, I guess, the most up-to-date version of SMT3. It's not just a regular SMT3 on PS2, it's the more updated version of the SMT3 game. So you're getting that, which is nice. So you're not just playing a base game. Technically, for the time, this is like playing Kingdom Hearts Final Mix opposed to just regular Kingdom Hearts. You're getting the best version. However, there are other versions out there, hence the Dante version, that you have to pay DLC for to get, while in Japan, they didn't even have to pay for it. They just got it. We have to pay for it here in the West, which is kind of weird and strange. I don't know. It's definitely just the thing, them trying to get money, which kind of sucks. I don't like that they're trying to do that to us, and definitely doing the paywall to get the game 4 days earlier. That wasn't super great. So people have already started playing it before people who were like, man, I don't think this is maybe worth all the money. Some people definitely out there, like me, did not want to pay more for the game before I even had my hands on it yet, right? And I didn't think it was worth it either. But you can buy those DLCs separately. If you're a person who does not want to buy the whole deluxe edition, you can buy the DLCs separately on their own. You don't have to jump in and get the deluxe edition if you want to have Dante. You can buy the base game, play through the game, and then start a Dante run, having Dante in it. You can play the game over again. So there is some replay value there if you are a person who wants that. I guess that is a good side to that. If you did want to choose, it will give you a different mode to start from, so you can actually have that if you are a person who wants to do a Dante run, maybe after you finish just the base game or something like that. I think that's what I'm going to do on my streams and whatnot, and I don't think there's much more that I can really say here. If I had to compare this to something, and I'm not sure if people are going to be upset about this, but it seems to me to be a lot like what they did with the Kingdom Hearts games when they remastered those. It's basically the same game, just They updated a lot of the models and the environments and graphics and whatnot. It isn't necessarily that they swapped out and put in new models. I think only Sora got that for a couple of the Kingdom Hearts games. This is no model swapping, and this game was put into, I believe, Unity, cleaned up in Unity. So it's technically kind of running a almost emulated version in Unity, but it's still cleaned up well and runs well, which is good. That's what we wanted. Let's get on over to how this affects the PC version, though. And I'm saving this for last. I know a lot of people are going to upset with me because of the PC version, and a lot of people are going to say, blah, 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 you just download a mod and the game's fine. No, it should be working when you buy it. Not everybody is as tech savvy to download a mod. I know downloading mods is very, very easy, but some little kids or people who don't know how to really run computers well, but they have a pretty good computer and they want to get into PC gaming, are probably going to buy this. And they're going to run into the experience of seeing the game running at only 20 FPS, 15 FPS during boss fights and stuff like that. The game has an issue with running on PC. You could say it's the de novo part of it because it runs through that. And if you don't know what that is, don't even worry about it. I'm not even talking to you, I guess. Anyway, just don't even worry about it. If you're not getting it on PC, it's nothing to worry about. But the game hasn't run the best on PC. Same thing with Strikers. And Persona 4 Golden apparently had problems with that too. However, I'm a person who did not have problems with that on Persona 4 Golden on Steam. So it's very situational depending on your PC build and how your PC front runs. It is nothing necessarily about you having a better PC. I have a very good PC. I haven't had any problems, but my PC was built like 4 years ago and I can run all these games just fine. But some people who I know have better equipment from pretty much a year ago or just this year are having problems running this game. It's very hard for them to run. It does not have to do with the graphical demands of it. It's a PS2 game and it's ran through de novo, but it also had that, little cleanup in Unity, but that's beside the point. The thing is, this thing has not been brought to PC well. When it comes to Atlas and third parties trying to bring this stuff to PC, they don't do a good job optimizing it. And that's really the word there, optimization. The game isn't optimized well for PC, and it might be because the company's never really worked much with PC other than Persona 4 Golden and bringing over Catherine Classic over to Steam. This is really their third game on Steam, if you want to be technical about it, and they're having issues about Strikers. This is really the fourth game having on here, and it kind of goes to show that it takes time for them. I'm sure they're going to have patches, I'm sure they're going to patch it out and whatnot, but there's a iffy area here. If you're trying to buy this game on PC, it might not be the best option for you. I just have to say that. It might not be because it's completely different when it comes to PCs. You might be having one that has 0 issues. You might have one that has all the issues and it's unplayable. I've heard people having issues with controllers, specifically Xbox controllers, which I don't understand. I don't get how that works. But some people are having controller issues and a lot of people are having frame rate issues for this game. Now, a lot of the PC people out there are going to say, just download a mod, download this, download that. It's going to work just fine. Just do this. Take the game, pull it out. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have to do that. It should have to work whenever you start it up. That's really how it should go. A lot of people can do that stuff on PC to make it run better if it is having issues, but you shouldn't have to do that. The game, you bought it, it should work. It's a product that they are selling to you. It should work. Legally, that is what selling a product is. It's supposed to work when you get it. So that's sort of how I see that issue going on there. And sorry to the PC community. I love you guys. I play tons of PC games. I love it, dude. I've loved playing the Kingdom Hearts games on PC. They are fantastic, and I think the best place to play it. But when it comes to Atlas's games, I don't think it's necessarily the best place. If I were you, I would try and decide whether or not you want it on PS4. If you got a PS4, play it there, man. It runs just fine. It runs crisp. Runs clear, baby, on there. If you're a person who's a little more mobile but doesn't mind losing some frames, get it on Switch, man. It runs perfectly fine on Switch, but most people on Switch know, yeah, it's going to run a little lower frame rate wise. So what? But you could dock it and it probably plays just as good as the PS4 version. I think I'm going to stop rambling on there. I've gone over, I think, my limit for what the video should be about, but there is the good and the bad when it comes to this game. I just knew I'd have to talk my head off about the PC version, get my point across the best that I possibly could, but there it is, the PC version, the PS4 version, and the Switch version, guys. Take with that what you will, and that's pretty much it. Let me know what your guys' experiences have been. Let me know if you have any solutions maybe for some of the PC problems down below. Let me know, what console did you get this for? Have you got this game yet? What did you get it on? Have you been having fun? I've been enjoying this a lot. I've been streaming it a lot as well, so subscribe to the channel so you can catch some of these streams. I stream about every other day, so you can probably catch me playing this game quite a lot. Click the bell to be notified when I go live or have a new video come up. Like this video, please. I'd appreciate it a whole lot. I also have a membership system down below. You can just click to become a member. It's only 99 cents to join. You get a bunch of emotes and a bunch of different badges and things like that for the channel to show your support. All the money and everything goes straight back into making more videos and playing more games like SMT3. So I appreciate any support you guys bring. If you just want to watch the videos, man, that's your right to do so, and I appreciate any support I get on the channel, guys. Really close to 2,000 subscribers. I'm going to have something a little special going on then, but until next time, guys, thank you all so much for watching.